After Fong Ching A launched the colorful cloth towards Xiao Yan, Xiao Yan was still able to withstand the attack with the 6 combined body flow master technique. Then Fong Ching A used the wind-killing finger technique to attack Xiao Yan. This wind-killing finger technique is one of the deadliest Do techniques in the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Not long after, Fong Ching A launched her attack towards Xiao Yan. Instantly, her attack hit Xiao Yan's defense and immediately destroyed Xiao Yan's defense. However, when Xiao Yan's defense was destroyed, suddenly a green fire lotus appeared and immediately collided with Fong Ching A's attack. When the two attacks collided, Fong Ching A's attack slowly began to dim and eventually disappeared. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan's green fire lotus attack still persisted. Seeing this, Fong Ching, who was initially tense, now calmed down. Then he who had just seen the technique used by Xiao Yan was shocked, because as far as Fong Ching knew, Yao Lao did not have that technique. Even Fong Ching had never heard of the powerful Do technique that Xiao Yan had just used. Fong Ching also thought that Xiao Yan's talent was much greater than Han Feng's. On the other hand, Tang Ying and Mu Qingwan were shocked when they saw Xiao Yan defeat Fong Ching A's wind-killing finger technique. The two of them, who had experienced Fong Ching A's technique, knew for sure about the power of her attack. However, Xiao Yan was able to defeat her. They both thought that Xiao Yan was much stronger than them. Meanwhile, Fong Ching A, who was still standing in the sky, was shocked when her attack was defeated by Xiao Yan. Then Xiao Yan's fire lotus that was still standing started to spin faster and continued to shoot towards Fong Ching A. Fong Ching A, who saw this, created a barrier that surrounded her body. Instantly, the fire lotus hit Fong Ching A's barrier and immediately exploded. The very powerful explosion immediately destroyed Fong Ching A's barrier and made Fong Ching A's phoenix bird retreat backwards. Meanwhile, Fong Ching A quickly avoided the explosion wave. Then Fong Ching A flew back into the sky and mounted the phoenix bird. Fong Ching A pressed the phoenix bird, which immediately turned into a red light and was immediately sucked in by Fong Ching A. Instantly, a pair of colorful wings appeared on Fong Ching A's back, and her aura quickly soared. Fong Ching A's strength, which was originally at the early stage of Do Zone, now soared to become a 3-star Do Zone. Seeing this, Xiao Yan, who was in the arena, immediately used the Skyfire 3 mysterious change technique to increase his strength. Instantly, his strength soared and rose to a 3-star Do Zone. Xiao Yan was surprised because his strength only increased by 2 stars, because usually it could increase by 3 stars. Xiao Yan thought it was because his strength had reached the Do Zone class, so he could only increase his strength by 2 stars. Because the distance between each star in the Do Zone class was far different from the Do Huang class. Even so, Xiao Yan thought that the technique used by Fong Ching A was greater than his Skyfire 3 mysterious change technique, which was still incomplete. Then Xiao Yan glanced at Fong Ching A in the sky and saw the wings on her back. Xiao Yan also felt familiar with the pair of wings belonging to Fong Ching A. Meanwhile, the Doqi aura surged out of Fong Ching A's body and turned into a large black phoenix bird behind Fong Ching A. Xiao Yan, who saw the phoenix bird, realized that Fong Ching A and Mu Qingwan were similar, because they were both not human, and their original forms were magical beasts. Not long after, Fong Ching A used the Demon Phoenix Sacred Icon technique. This technique was a secret technique of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Then Fong Ching A launched her attack towards Xiao Yan. On the other hand, the heavenly fire bone-chilling flame surged out from Xiao Yan's forehead. However, Xiao Yan suddenly felt a fluctuation from his storage ring, and the origin of the fluctuation came from within the jade bottle that contained a few drops of phoenix corpse blood that Xiao Yan had obtained at the auction. A moment later, Xiao Yan recalled something and immediately looked at Fong Ching A in the sky. Xiao Yan then realized that Fong Ching A was someone from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. That was why the blood from the phoenix corpse that Xiao Yan had obtained this time reacted. On the other hand, Fong Ching was also surprised when he saw the phoenix icon behind Fong Ching A. Fong Ching did not expect that Fong Ching A was someone from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. That was why Lei Zunja had hidden Fong Ching A's true aura. Hearing that, Lei Zunja smiled, and he thought that Xiao Yan was not an ordinary person, because he could force Fong Ching A to use the secret technique of his tribe. Then Lei Zunja reminded Fong Zunja to be careful, because if something happened to Fong Ching A, his Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe would not remain silent. Hearing that, Fong Zunja asked if Lei Zunja was trying to threaten him. Lei Zunja replied that it was not a threat, and only reminded Fong Zunja. Because according to Lei Zunjie, he and Fong Zunjie also knew that what he said was true. Hearing that, Fong Zunjie said that he would not bully younger people. Besides, the match between Xiao Yan and Fong Ching A could not be determined as a winner. Then Lei Zunjie said that Xiao Yan would not be able to win against Fong Ching A. Because after Fong Ching A used the secret technique of her tribe, her strength was very strong. Even some elders from his Wind Lightning Pavilion could not defeat him. Let alone Xiao Yan, who had just broken through to the Dozong level. Hearing that, Fong Zunjie just smiled and told him to just wait for the final result. On the other hand, Xiao Yan did not expect that Fong Ching A was actually someone from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. That was why he felt familiar when he saw the wings on Fong Ching A's back that were similar to his bone wings. Then Xiao Yan used his spiritual power to hide the fluctuations from the phoenix blood in his storage ring. Xiao Yan thought that if Fong Ching A found out, it would be a big problem for Xiao Yan. After all, the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe was much stronger than the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Soon after, Fong Ching A's sacred icon attack shot towards Xiao Yan. Seeing this, Xiao Yan immediately avoided the attack with his 3,000 lightning steps. Xiao Yan also felt strange about the black flame thread from the attack. Although the black flame was not a heavenly fire, its strength was not weaker than the heavenly fire. Then Fong Ching A's attack shot towards Xiao Yan again. Seeing this, Xiao Yan avoided the attack again with 3,000 lightning steps. However, the sacred icon's attack continued to follow Xiao Yan every time Xiao Yan avoided it. Then Xiao Yan tried to launch his beam sword attack towards Fong Ching A's attack. However, Xiao Yan's attack was completely ineffective. Even Fong Ching A's sacred icon attack continued to follow Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan, who realized that ordinary attacks would not work against Fong Ching A's attack, immediately took out his 3 heavenly fires and began to combine the 3 types of heavenly fires to create the angry Buddha Lotus. Seeing the 3 types of heavenly fire in Xiao Yan's hand, it made Lei Zunjie, Fong Zunjie, Jian Zunjie, and Huangquan Zunjie in the VIP seats shocked. Although the 4 of them had seen heavenly fire before, they had never seen someone who had 3 types of heavenly fire at once. Meanwhile, Fong Zunjie thought that it was because of the fire mantra. Fong Zunjie also did not expect that Yao Lao taught Xiao Yan about the fire mantra. On the other side, Xiao Yan, who was still merging his 3 heavenly fires, suddenly the attack of the holy icon rushed towards Xiao Yan again. Seeing this, Xiao Yan continuously avoided the attack, and continued to merge the 3 heavenly fires in his hand. Soon after, the 3-colored fire lotus in Xiao Yan's hand slowly began to form, and finally finished forming. Instantly, the expressions of Lei Zunjie and the others changed, when they sensed the extremely powerful aura from Xiao Yan's 3-colored fire lotus. Then Xiao Yan glanced at Fong Ching A in the sky, and immediately launched his angry Buddha Lotus towards Fong Ching A. Seeing this, Fong Ching A's expression quickly changed. She felt the aura of destruction from Xiao Yan's fire lotus. Fong Ching A finally realized that she had underestimated Xiao Yan all this time, and thought that Xiao Yan could only rely on the strength of others. Then Fong Ching A withdrew her sacred icon technique into her black phoenix, and immediately used the sacred icon technique of the demon phoenix bell to block Xiao Yan's fire lotus attack. Instantly, a pitch-black aura surged and enveloped Fong Ching A's body. After that, the pitch-black aura formed a very large black bell. Seeing this, the 4 Zunjie were shocked when they saw Fong Ching A using the technique. Jian Zunjie said that this demon phoenix bell technique was a technique created by the ancestors of the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe, whose strength had reached the Dosheng level. This technique has a very strong defense, which can be used for both offense and defense. Meanwhile, Huangquan Zunjie said that this sacred icon technique of the demon phoenix bell could not be used by others, and could only be used by someone with the bloodline of the Heaven Demon Phoenix. Hearing this, Lei Zunjie reminded Huangquan Zunjie not to think about having the technique, because the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe would not let others find the corpses of their members, let alone a very precious Do technique. They would not let others have it. Hearing this, Huangquan Zunjie laughed and said that he was just joking. Meanwhile, Fong Zunjie said that although the technique was very strong, it would not be too strong, because Fong Ching A who used it was still at the Dozong level. On the other hand, Xiao Yan's fire lotus was very small, compared to Fong Ching A's very large, black bell. However, even so, others did not dare to underestimate the destructive power of Xiao Yan's fire lotus. Not long after, the fire lotus directly collided with the large black bell. When the two attacks collided, Xiao Yan's fire lotus immediately exploded and a three-colored fire wave surged like a sea of fire. Seeing this, the four Zunzhi were immediately shocked and did not expect that Xiao Yan had such a terrifying do technique. Meanwhile, Fei Tian also did not expect that Xiao Yan had such a powerful technique. Fei Tian thought that if Xiao Yan used this technique on him, Fei Tian might still be able to survive, but he would also be seriously injured. On the other hand, Fong Ching A's black bell in the middle of the fire wave was still able to hold on. Seeing this, Lei Zunzhi looked happy when he saw that Fong Ching A's bell was still able to hold on, and he thought that Fong Ching A would win the fight. But suddenly a cracking sound was heard from the black bell, which immediately made Lei Zunzhi's expression turn gloomy when he saw many small cracks slowly spreading from the black bell. Meanwhile, Fong Zunzhi by his side smiled when he saw this. At first, Fong Zunzhi did not think that Xiao Yan would be able to defeat Fong Ching A, after he found out Fong Ching A's identity as someone from the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. Meanwhile, Jian Zunzhi and Huang Quan Zunzhi were also surprised, because Xiao Yan was able to destroy Fong Ching A's Demon Phoenix Bell technique. On the other hand, Mu Qingwan, Tang Ying, and Wang Chen were shocked when they saw the sea of fire in the sky. Even at this moment, Wang Chen felt his body go numb. He thought that if Xiao Yan had used that technique on him earlier, Wang Chen might have died by now. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan's face turned pale after using the three-colored fire lotus, which drained a lot of his do qi. Then Xiao Yan immediately swallowed some medicinal pills to recover his strength. Xiao Yan glanced at the black bell, which was currently covered in cracks. Not long after, a wave of fire surged again from the three-colored sea of fire, which immediately collided with the black bell. Then the black bell immediately exploded and shattered. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan stared at the location of the bell that had been destroyed and saw the black aura slowly dimming. Not long after, Fong Ching A's figure quickly appeared from within the black aura. Seeing this, Xiao Yan immediately shot towards Fong Ching A, and green flames immediately surged out of his hands. Instantly, Xiao Yan, who was shooting, suddenly appeared behind Fong Ching A. Meanwhile, Fong Ching A quickly launched a colorful cloth towards Xiao Yan. However, Xiao Yan immediately grabbed the colorful cloth, and immediately launched an attack on Fong Ching A. Instantly, Fong Ching A, who was hit by the attack, immediately fell to the arena. Then Xiao Yan tightened his fist again, and shot towards Fong Ching A again. Xiao Yan instantly appeared beside Fong Ching A, who was already injured in the arena. Then Xiao Yan's foot without hesitation stepped on Fong Ching A's head. Seeing that, everyone was shocked when they saw Xiao Yan's cruel action. However, Xiao Yan knew that it was just Fong Ching A's clone body, which used the 3000 lightning illusion body technique. Instantly, Fong Ching A's clone body disappeared after being stepped on by Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan then shot back and immediately launched his fist into the empty space in front of him. Suddenly Fong Ching A's body appeared when Xiao Yan launched his fist, which immediately made Fong Ching A's body retreat, and vomited a mouthful of blood from her mouth. Then Xiao Yan smiled and said that he would not be fooled by Fong Ching A's illusion body, which was still in the early stages. Meanwhile, Fong Ching A, who was already injured, she did not expect that she would be defeated by Xiao Yan. And this was the first time she had been defeated in such a humiliating way in many years. Then Fong Ching A tried to use her remaining do qi to attack Xiao Yan. But before Fong Ching A could launch her attack, Xiao Yan's body suddenly appeared in front of Fong Ching A, and immediately strangled Fong Ching A's neck. Then Xiao Yan said that Fong Ching A had lost.